Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our January live stream, Patty.
I know, January.
Can you believe
January's
this?
almost over.
I know. So let's see. Let's make sure we're actually live. If you're watching this on replay, we're just going to double check that we're live because it doesn't look like we are.
No.
It says live.
Can you see it? Okay, so we are live. Oh, there we go. The numbers were just a little slow to pop in. So we are live. So good evening again, everyone. January 27th. And gosh, can you believe we're almost 1 month done?
I know. It's crazy. It's just flying by already. So
yeah. So hi, Jan. Good to see you. Esther's here.
Hi, Esther.
Slowly starting to see some people roll in. Hi, Steve. Thank you. Glad to see us. And so tonight we have special guest on. We haven't done this in a while. Where
it's been a while. I know. It's kind of out of sync here.
I know. Last year about this time we had JP.
Yeah.
From Mattress Insider on.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
How's Sue?
And Linda's here from Florida.
Apparently they see something else.
So, and I don't know, Kevin and Angie, I don't know if you guys can actually see the comments on your screen or not popping up.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, there we go.
I had to click the right button.
Hey,
John and Susan, how are you guys? I'm sure they got a lot more snow.
Yeah, they're up in Minnesota. And Sharon's here from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Sharon usually pops in for a few minutes when we go live. I always say she's the farthest viewer, definitely, from Indiana. So.
Hi, Jim. How's Abe?
Rodney and Deb are here. Susan from New Horizons is here. The Porters are in the house. Bill, I'm hoping we're going to see you next week, both of you, you and Val, hopefully at the RV show in Fort Wayne. So,
isn't Bill the one that gave you the idea for our
e-bike? Yeah, Bill.
And it worked perfect.
Yeah, Bill, that worked perfect for the e-bike. So
awesome.
So anyway, Patty, I think we should introduce our guests since they're here.
Yeah.
So this evening we have Kevin and Angie, the owners of Happy Acres Campground here in Angola, Indiana. And for those of you not familiar with Happy Acres, let's give you a real quick preview before we jump into this. And there's our quick preview. It was short and sweet, but it teases everybody. So how are you guys doing tonight?
We are very good. Very good. Excited to be here. This is our first live stream ever, so we probably look really stiff.
Well, why don't you tell everybody where you're at?
Yeah, we're all going to be jealous.
You guys will all hate us then, but we are in the sunny Florida Keys. It's actually not sunny right now because obviously it's late, but yes, it's much better than Indiana weather.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, a little bit warmer. What did I say we were? About 30 degrees, 32. Yeah. So yeah, you're just a smidge higher.
Yeah.
Yes. I did have to I was in Indiana a few days ago and I had to white knuckle drive through that little blizzard down to Indy to catch my flight. So
on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. That
was like the worst day too for you to have to leave.
So bad. Yes.
Well, we're glad you made it back safe. So you want to tell everybody, well, maybe do you want to share just a little of your background or history or whatever? Tell people who you are.
Go ahead.
Sure. I'll let you go. You go.
No.
All right. So, I mean, the big picture background is we used to own body shops, collision shops. So absolutely nothing to do with camping, occasionally fixed a damaged camper, maybe. But we sold that in
early 2020.
2020.
March of 2020.
Yes.
Ooh.
So that was kind of a big deal. And then we were kind of retired. And we got the super great idea to buy a campground because it would be fun.
Had you camped prior to buying the campground?
I have.
A little bit.
I grew up camping, but like tent camping, like the real camping, rough it camping. We didn't have RVs or anything like that. We slept in a tent on the ground. But I mean, it was a annual thing. And so, I mean, I guess I was semi-familiar with camping.
And we've owned a camper, but we use it more for transportation than actual camping.
Yes.
Going from one place to another, it makes it nice to spend 3 days coming down here rather than 24 hours straight.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
And we love Indiana in the summertime. The Midwest is great in the summertime. So we thought, wow, that'd be great. We could have a business that's seasonal and we can still come to Florida in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you own an RV before you bought the campground?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We sure did.
I wish I had a picture of her. Her name is Helen. She is a 1976 GMC Eleganza. And we changed it to the Heleganza, and then it's shortened to Helen. So, yeah, but she's getting some repairs right now, but completely redone, gone through, remodeled, beautiful. I love her. So hopefully you'll see her at the campground this year, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
So you did have, well, that's good, because I was thinking, well, if you never even owned an RV, that would be quite a leap into the campground business. But you understood, I mean, you owned an RV.
We did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We had the classic 6-wheel.
Yeah.
So we also have a Class B Mercedes Sprinter van motorhome that we use to come back and forth with.
Okay. So you had that before you bought Happy Acres?
No. We bought that after Happy
Okay,
Acres.
that's what I was thinking.
We had Helen originally, and that was it.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So what made you decide to buy the campground? Like, how did you end up going from, okay, we're going to sell our business, we're going to be retired, and then?
Honestly, we had toyed with the idea even when we owned collision shops.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know that Angola there's a bunch of campgrounds around Angola, and there's so much to see around Angola. We thought if we could find a little piece of property, maybe we'll build a house and develop a campground. And after we sold the collision shops, we thought, why start from zero? I mean, maybe someone's willing to get out of a campground they own already, and we can move in and improve it and maybe skip some of the early steps and just get going. So we started shopping around, and we ended up at Happy Acres.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that was in, let's see, this is 2021, 2021?
Yeah, we closed on it Labor Day weekend of 21.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
So 22 was our first full season.
Yep.
So how was your first season as campground owners? And be honest, because I think that's the thing is we as campers, everybody that's on, most people that are on tonight are RVers.
Sure.
And so, we only see one side of all this. So I think it'd be great for us to have some insights.
Actually, I'll give you the short answer, and then I'll let Angie finish. But I think it's wonderful. It's great. I think we're learning something new every day. You meet happy people. Our previous business, people came in and they were usually upset. They were just in a car accident. They found out they had to pay a deductible. It was uncomfortable. Now everybody that pulls in and comes through the office that we meet, they're happy. They're ready to have a week of fun or a weekend of fun, and it's actually a big change. There were some challenges. There were some things that we had to learn as we went along. Like I said, we just bought it at the end of the season in 21. So coming into 22, business was great, and we ramped up really quick, but we soon discovered that we had electrical deficiencies, plumbing deficiencies, pool deficiencies. There were all kinds of issues that we had to work through. But honestly, I thought it was really rewarding and really fun. A little tiring the first summer, but.
Yeah. I would say we were chatting about this earlier, trying to prepare. And I would say probably the biggest challenge was trying to operate a campground, just normal operation of a campground, and improve it and do all the repairs. Because, I mean, going in, we knew we bought a campground that needed love.
Right.
So, we knew we were going to have to do that. But everything broke way faster than what we thought it was going to break. And so having to make all of those repairs and improvements and plans and all of that doesn't necessarily always jive with operating a normal operation of a campground. So independently, either of them would have been way less stressful, but operating that, doing both those things together, it caused some sleepless nights, and I probably lost a few years off my life.
Well, I can only imagine, because I mean, I would think that would have been a big transition going from, you had like, if I remember right, you told us like 30, was it 35 collision shops?
Oh, not that many.
Oh,
We had 15 shops.
Okay.
We were in Michigan and in Indiana, so they were separated by a couple hours.
Gotcha.
We
so
had about
you went, yeah, so you went
200
from
employees.
lots of locations, lots of employees,
Mm-hmm.
and you were
Us.
probably
To us.
just you guys, yeah,
Chairs and some campouts, and but basically, it's a huge change. And having to be there every day, 7 days a week for 7 months is very overwhelming. Where, I mean, at the body shops, we worked every day, but we weren't necessarily always at a specific location every day, and sometimes we work from home, or how that works. So it was a change. It was a challenge. So we were ready for the break, so we could recoup and retool and, get our motivation back.
Right. So how many, just so everybody knows that's listening, and let me just state this again, if you're just joining us, we have Kevin and Angie from Happy Acres Campground, located in Angola, Indiana. Mm-hmm. How many sites do you have at the campground?
Approximately 89, I think, is the exact number.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it about 50% of those are seasonal sites?
I think it's actually a little bit less. We actually took a handful of sites this year and made them monthlies. So I guess it's still kind of like seasonals, but we have a lot of utility workers and nurses and transient workers that just need short-term, camping for like a month or 2 months. So, and last year we didn't plan for that because, we didn't know. And so we couldn't really accommodate as many as we would have liked to. Is that us? Is that you?
That would be us.
Oh, okay. And so if you count those in, then about 50% are, we'll call them long-term, and then the rest are weekenders, people that come for a week.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I really like, I don't know about you, Patty, but I always feel like campgrounds that are set up like Happy Acres, to where the seasonals kind of have their little section of the campground and they can form their own community.
Yeah.
And then the weekenders or the week-long people, they kind of get their own little section. I mean, it's still one big happy family.
Yes.
But there's a little bit of separation, because I know we've always felt kind of both sides. We kind of felt weird before when we went to campgrounds where they're all intermingled and you're squeezed between seasons.
I agree. We've been probably camping more this last couple years than we were in the past. Just, we wanted to check it out and see what people did right and what we could copy. So there are some situations where it seems uncomfortable. So I feel like I need to take this moment to comment on how awesome our seasonal campers are. And I think that's actually one of the things that a lot of weekenders commented on, is how much they felt included and how welcome they felt from our seasonal campers. So I think we got lucky when we bought the campground, because a lot of them are we inherited them, I guess.
Right.
But I think we're very lucky, and they do a great job of just making sure that the weekenders feel welcome.
Right. Yeah, and I think we've been on both sides before. I always say weekenders complain about seasonals. We hear that all the time. People make comments on videos if we're talking about it. And they're like, "Oh, we hate campgrounds with seasonals." And we've been seasonals. Yeah. And we also know seasonals are not necessarily fond of weekenders. Because you're in the campground all year long, or all summer long, season long. And then these people just show up and think they own the place for the weekend. It's always interesting, the dynamics between the two groups. But what you just said is kind of what we felt when we were at your place this fall. Was many of the seasonals had really went out
Very
of their way.
welcoming.
Yeah, they came up on the hill where we were camping.
Well, those one folks thought we were struggling to make a fire.
Yeah, offered us
they brought up
firewood.
fire starters,
Great.
tips. You know, they were just friendly.
So, I mean, I think, I would say it seems like you have a really good group, you know, and that's a good thing. So,
Yes, I think so. And it does help that it is completely separated. The seasonals are completely separate from, I mean, there is one point where it touches, but pretty much one side is seasonal, one side is weekenders. So,
right.
if anyone's concerned about that.
Now you made some major improvements in your first year. I know, Kevin, you already said like the electrical upgrades, some plumbing upgrades. I believe you put down a lot of new stone, if not all new stone.
Yeah.
We have all the stone. There's none left. We have all of it.
What are some of the other things that you did in that first year that you want people to know about?
Well, I think starting with the old, there was like a junior basketball court, or they called it a dodgeball court. We converted that to a pickleball court. That turned out to be quite a challenge, but I think it paid off. We put in a dog park.
Yep.
We cleaned up all of the bathrooms, new sinks and toilets and things like that, and all the bathrooms, repainted everything. What else do we do?
The store, I don't know if anybody was there prior to us purchasing it, but
it's like brand new.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complete, I don't even know what the right word is, miracle. So that's all been redone, and
we've planted over 100 trees.
Yes,
since
tons
we bought
of
it.
trees and landscape. I know we're missing something major.
Well, one of the big things that bothered me when we bought it was the campsite seemed to run in every direction. There was no real privacy between campsites. So over last summer, we pretty much pulled everybody off and relined up all the sites. So every site has equal privacy now. And I think that makes a huge difference.
That's his OCD.
Yeah, well,
I agree.
Patty has it, and it's rubbed off on me.
I call it CDO.
That's how OCD she is. She has to line the letters.
I line the letters up.
We're continuing to upgrade all the pedestals in there,
Yes.
50 amp, 30 amp, and 20 amp. We put in a new constant pressure well.
Yes.
We did about 5 years worth of work in 1 year, I believe.
Yes.
So.
And the pavilion, was that there before?
No,
yeah.
that's new too.
I was like, I know we're forgetting something big.
All the cabins are new. There were no cabins
all
there.
the cabins are new. And the pavilion, actually, that concrete we repurposed. It was an old, broke down basketball court that nobody used. So we just repurposed the concrete and built the pavilion around it.
And they moved the pool.
And the pool, well, the pool's moving.
We demolished the old pool, and we're in the process of engineering and permitting for the new pool, which is already on site. It just needs to go in the ground. And fingers crossed, it's our goal. That's one of my number one projects when we get back in the spring.
I like the skybox.
Oh, the skybox. Now, were those sites there, the skybox, or did you put those in?
They were there, but there were no roads. It was all
It was
grass.
just grass.
So you drove up the hill on a kind of a 2-track road, but once you got up there, it was kind of up to you to drive in the grass and figure out how you wanted to park.
Yeah. So if it rained, if it was really rainy or whatever, you couldn't really use them. They weren't usable sites.
Right.
I like it up there.
Yeah,
So we put in all the roads, and I just noticed on Google Maps yesterday, when you go to the satellite view, you actually can see it now. Up until
they
just
updated
recently, you couldn't see it, but from Google Maps now you can go and look at it and see all the new roads in there.
Right. Yeah, that's. I'm trying to think, what else are we missing? I mean, well, the store, because
It's
I remember the
beautiful.
old store, if that's
Totally
what you called it, or office.
Whatever it was.
Yeah, and I remember when I walked in there for the first time, like I was just blown away because you have it so well done.
It's just so stinking cute.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you.
your little areas and all the products are set up, and it's just nice. Plus, your puppies are there. So, and I'm a puppy person. So.
Oh, yes. All right. Got to have the dogs there. So Jane always likes to bark at people and scare them, and Cash goes and makes them feel better about themselves. So that's how that works.
Well, and then you know, like your new logo, your new signage, like it was funny because we knew something was
What's going
happening
on? Yeah.
because I think we saw the signage go up first, and
Mhm.
and you know, it was like every day I'd go by on my way to work in Fort Wayne, and it's like, wow, something's going on at Happy.
Something's different.
Something's different every day.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you guys. I mean, when you think about 1 year, all of that list, and I'm
Yes.
sure there's some other stuff
Yeah.
you're not even thinking.
Yeah,
Of.
sure.
The gate, we put in
Oh,
that
the
security gate.
Yep.
New signs, parking
Oh, we
lot.
put a new parking lot in, painted all the buildings.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, even through the winter, I remember I would drive by like on when the weather was decent. You'd see, I'm like, oh, they're still working on the pavilion or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So, the cabins. Maybe talk about the cabins a little bit because I know those are brand new.
Mhm.
And is there 6 of those now?
6, yes. We just got 3 done at the end of the season, so they haven't even been. Actually, I don't even have the furniture for them yet, so that's on my list of things to do. So 3 cabins or 6 cabins. I'm sorry. 2 of them are what we would consider handicap accessible. I'm not sure if we meet all the rules, but generally they're set up for that. They're just 1 queen bed in them and then a small little table. And then the other ones have bunk beds and a queen bed. Or I think a couple of them have twin beds. Or not twin. What's the other one? Doubles.
Okay, full.
So
They all have refrigerators.
they all have little mini fridges. I just purchased Keurig coffee makers for all 6 of them. So that'll be there next year or next
heating
season.
and air conditioning.
They are heated and air conditioned. We just got done fixing up and upgrading the bathrooms that are close to them. So now there's not quite as far as a walk to go to the bathroom. And I don't know if anybody knows this yet, but we, what do we do to the pond? We
doubled the size
Doubled-
of the north pond.
and cleaned it out and made it look real pretty. And yeah, so that'll be new in the spring for everybody.
Mhm.
Vinny, and you guys, I believe, met Vinny at our
Yes.
fall camp out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a question for you. That
Okay.
He says, when you took over, did you have to evict any of the seasonals?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It was so close to the end of the season that there were just a few that we didn't offer to come back. So if it would have been earlier in the season, we probably might have done something about it. But luckily in Indiana, it's not tenants' rights. It's they're just campers. And so we wouldn't have had to go through the whole eviction process and all of that stuff. But yeah, there was a couple that we didn't invite back.
We heard the previous owner took him in only that year because people felt like he was just trying to get as much money as he could before he left. So he kind of let his guard down and let people in that he maybe wouldn't have let in otherwise.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, that was a good question because I think, that's, when new owners take over, I think that's always the fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
When, like, even when we were at Collins Bay, we always feared, like, if Kevin sold,
What would happen?
Yeah, what would happen? But that wasn't your intention ever.
No.
You wanted to keep the seasonals.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Although I will say, going back to what I said before, it would have been way easier to make all those repairs if I didn't have to send emails out every time somebody dug up a water line or
Oh.
cut the power.
Originally, my idea was to completely close the campground down for the 2022 season and do all the repairs with nobody there.
And I was like, no way, no. And then at the end of the season, I'm like, dang, we maybe should have done
Maybe
that.
should
I
have.
think I might have lost my mind. But it was fine. It worked out. It worked out.
yeah. Well, I'm sure the seasonals were glad you didn't end up doing,
Right.
even though it made
I know.
But
Yep.
so 2023, the pond's going to be done, and then the pool's going to go in. Are there any other things that you're planning on? New.
There's a few more sites that don't have the upgraded electrical yet. So as time and weather permit, we'll continue to upgrade. I think there's maybe 20 sites left that don't have the new power, the new 50 amp. So slowly we'll work on those. I don't know that there's anything else. We're actually going to try to enjoy it a little bit more this year. We'll do a lot more landscaping, a lot more tree planting. But honestly, we would like to just enjoy it a little bit.
Yes. Yes. I've been working the last few weeks on getting the event calendar figured out and trying to work with some outside local people to do some of those things. And so I've been working on that. It's coming soon. I think one of the other things that I I guess it's okay to say, but we're kind of partnering with Barton Lake RV, and they are going to have a site there with a rotating RV model, where people can view it, see it, walk through it. So I think that'll be really fun. I think they're going to do some fun stuff with us, and that'll be new. They're going to be down by the pond.
Did you see that?
What does it say?
Back to Nature Day.
Yeah.
Right.
It's called the Back to Nature Day.
Where's a swimming pool day? I like
Some
it.
positive thinking,
Yeah.
Abe.
That is.
That's a good spin.
Randy has a question, which I think kind of leads into what we're talking about anyway. But how do you get people to know about your campground? Has that been a challenge from day one, or the campground's been around for?
Yes, it's been around since
1980. Yeah.
So it's always been some kind of Happy Acres, but usually somebody's last name and then Happy Acres.
Miller's. I remember Miller's Happy Acres.
Yes, that's who we purchased it from.
And it was Cook's Happy Acres.
Yeah, and
M&E Happy Acres.
yeah. So we figured people didn't really care about our last name and Happy Acres. So we just kept Happy Acres. But as far as getting the word out, mostly just I started kind of doing social media, which I am a negative expert on. So it kind of worked because I got your attention somehow. And that's it. I don't know. I have some really good friends in Angola who have helped spread the word, other business owners, and they've been really good to us. So other than that, we haven't done a lot.
This is actually a good suggestion. Our friend Dave Fitch says from Following the Fitches, it'd be cool to get in good with a local RV tech. I don't even know if we have any of those in the area.
We do have those.
Oh, maybe you already have this.
Well, kind of. We actually have. That's one of the things we've been talking to, kind of briefly talk to Barton Lake about, trying to work out something with them. There are some local RV techs and mobile techs that will come out, but I don't necessarily know them.
Right.
And their skills, but I'm hoping that maybe we can figure something out with Barton Lake.
Yeah. I think the Barton Lake thing is really cool, both for your seasonals and for people who are swinging by for the weekend or going to be there for a week. To be able to go down and look at a new RV or a fairly new RV. I know they said they might put some like gently used ones where they're take a newer one in on trade, but to be in fact, that was one of the things we always enjoyed when we
were up at Yogi.
When we were like, if we'd go camping up at Yogi, as you could walk right over to Barton Lake RV,
and just look around.
And I tell you what, it gets very expensive.
Yeah.
You never leave empty-handed.
Yeah.
Their plan is to have two there, I believe, most of the time.
Oh, wow.
They'll have one.
People always ask, like, how did you guys end up having 10 RVs in 17
Yogi.
years? Just go camping near an RV dealership.
Yeah.
Really quick, and it happens. So, and the other nice thing is you're right beside of I-69, so there's good visibility for people. And 69, technically should run from Canada to Mexico. We know it's not completed yet, but there's good traffic.
Sure. There is good traffic.
Yeah, and to me, it's an outstanding location. Because you're right at I-69 and US 20. It's easy to get off, easy to get to the campground. You're maybe 10 minutes south of the Indiana toll road. So people heading east and west through our state.
Sure.
And, the fact that you're
close to RV Mecca.
Yeah, you're like, less than an hour to the RV capital of the world, Elkhart, and the museum. And so
Spartan Chassis is only an hour north in Charlotte, Michigan. So we get a lot of people that come by that are having warranty work done at Spartan.
Yeah. So it's just a really convenient, not to mention we live in an amazing county.
Yeah.
I do.
I agree.
101
One
lakes.
lakes.
We've got, I think, one of the nicest state parks in the entire state
Yeah.
park
I
system.
agree.
A cutie
I'm
down
jealous of that park.
there.
Yeah, cute downtown. We're probably from the campground, you're maybe 40 minutes to Fort Wayne.
Maybe. Yeah.
And so if somebody really wants to go to Costco or,
Yeah. Well, don't forget the ACD Museum.
Auburn has, the Auburn Court Duesenberg Museum. So to me, it's like, there's a
good spot.
reason to come to Steuben
Mhm.
County, Indiana, and
I
camp.
agree.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about how you're different than the mega parks in the area, or do we not want to venture down that?
Well, I think the one big difference is pretty obvious. We don't have, we're not a big water park. It seems like the KOA kind of has that nailed, and Yogi Bear. And we're not trying to compete with them. We're looking for a different kind of camping. Everybody's welcome at our campground. Maybe it's not as fun for a little kid, but I think we're different in that way. It's really quiet, and that's naturally, I don't even know why. People have said for the last 20 years there, it's just they stay there because it's so quiet in the evening. It just at 9 o'clock, it's almost lights out.
Yeah.
A few campfires going, but I think that's different. I hear people come in from KOA that say at 2 o'clock in the morning they need to put background noise in their RV because it's still so loud outside.
Yeah. I would say that's probably the biggest. We don't want to lose that. We want to keep that relaxing, peaceful, calm. I don't know. All those words.
Right.
No, and I think because Yogi and again, they're both nice parks, Yogi and KOA, but they are what I would term a mega park.
Right.
Where it takes you half the day if you're at the back of the park to get from the front to the back.
Right.
Just because they're big and there's lots of kids
Lots of
and
things going on.
And so if you're looking for lots of kid activities and like,
Amenities and
yeah,
stuff
like
like
Kevin
that.
said, water
Water
parks,
and
then those are great. But if you're like Patty and I,
we don't need that.
and you just want someplace a little bit smaller where you feel like
A
family
little
and
quiet and
pretty
and
and
nice
you have activities for adults like wine tastings and live entertainment and
yoga with goats.
I don't think
I'm working on the goat yoga.
Goats with pajamas that you can feed.
We have quite a few campers that come through towing boats because of the fishing in the area with 101 lakes, like you mentioned. And we have a lot of extra area that's not developed where people can park their boats when they're not using them. So it's wide open space for parking and turning around and maneuvering. The fishing tournaments, we had a few people stay in the cabins.
Actually, just
last year
booked one yesterday. He's coming
for the
back
fishing
this year.
tournament
Yeah,
again?
he's getting in a cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can say like our friends that you guys met that stayed there for a couple of weeks with you, Bobby and April from Bob's Mug Coffee and Travis Brown, they had no issues getting that big 41-foot fifth wheel in there, and obviously your sites are more than big enough for them.
Yep.
I think that's what a lot of people, they do worry about that. Like, am I going to be able to get a big rig in, and will they have a site that will accommodate me in the tow vehicle? And you have both of those, easy access, and so. Roxanne, I think if you're asking if they have a pickleball court, they do, brand new pickleball court. So if that's what you mean by pickleball, and I know you asked about Steuben County, it's STEUBEN. So we're right in the northeast corner. I always tell people that we could go to either Michigan or Ohio for dinner. We're that close to both states.
Yeah. I think Roxanne's reading our minds too, because she's asking about food trucks. So we actually just had that conversation yesterday. We have 4 live music nights planned. And I think probably for most, maybe all, definitely the 6 Autumns Whiskey Wagon will be there. But then we talked about trying to get a food truck there too. So maybe.
Yeah. We have a question.
Which direction from Angola are you located? I'll let you guys answer that one.
West, directly west.
I'll let him answer that.
On US 20 West. Yeah. Yep.
Robert says, I guess you could say Yogi Bear campgrounds are kind of kids actively oriented, but you pay significantly more for those amenities and
Right.
advertising.
Sure.
And that's true. I mean, usually Yogi Bears and a lot of times KOAs are
Right.
a little more high priced than
Mhm.
your private commercial campgrounds like a Happy Acres. And
Sure.
again, it just depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. If you have 5 little kids that are ready to go swimming and slide down the
Yeah.
slides and play in the water park, then I get it.
Yeah.
yeah. And Steve says the RV museum is amazing. Been there at least 3 times.
It is. We've been
Yep.
there. It's
We,
awesome.
we have as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
Awesome.
really good museum. So, yeah. So anyway, well, I don't remember where we was at. We was talking about, I don't know. So, okay, 2023. So we got a camping season coming up. When does that officially kick off for this year? For you?
So our official date is May 1st, but that's like a Monday or some weird. So we actually are starting camping on April 28th, if that's Friday. I'm pretty sure April 28th. So our first official grand opening weekend for the season is the next weekend, which is May 5th. So Cinco de Mayo.
So soft opening the last weekend in April.
Yeah.
And some of the
It'll be
seasonals
official.
will start coming in even a week before that to just set up their campers and do some spring cleaning. But I think there's no overnighting until that first or
so
last
the
weekend.
28th. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Gotcha.
and so let's talk about Cinco de Mayo weekend. Do we, I say we, I act like, but
Yeah.
do you still have sites available for that
We do
opening Cinco
still
de
have,
Mayo?
yes, we do still have sites available. I think, you know what? I haven't looked for probably a week, but I'm sure that there's still sites available.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it'll be fun. We've got some fun stuff planned with you guys, and just be a nice, kick off the season little party.
Yeah, we're excited to. Oh, here we go. John and Susan are coming. It says we'll be there the weekend of the 5th. Want to know who else is planning to be there and what activities are planned for the weekend. Well, go ahead. Are we there yet?
So definitely we are going to have the welcome party, season kickoff party on Friday with all of the traditional Cinco de Mayo fixins. And then on Saturday, I believe that Patrick and Patty are going to be doing some product demonstrations.
Yes, we're excited about that. We've got lots of things to show
Yeah.
people. And again, we're not trying to sell stuff per se. We're just trying to share what we have found that works. And
Yeah.
we've got some new things this year that we think would be good. So
Yeah.
we're excited to do
Very
that.
good. Yep. And we're also, I'm pretty sure we're going to do some giveaways, that kind of stuff. And then some surprise things, mostly because I don't have it all planned yet.
Sure.
It'll be a surprise.
I love it.
Okay.
Fitch says it sounds like a taco
Yeah, I know.
night.
That sounds like
Maybe a margarita too.
Yes.
Taco nights
tacos,
very
yeah.
well. So here's a good question. Josh is, I always like to say Josh is the nephew I wished I always had. because he went to Purdue.
Yeah.
My real nephew betrayed me and went to the other school down south.
Oh, okay.
So, but Josh is a graduate now of the wonderful school in West Lafayette. But he wanted to know what amenities do you have any like dreams? He says that you plan for in the future, or anything you'd want to share.
You want to share anything?
Well, I'm dreaming of a pool.
Well, it's there. It's just
yeah.
We work with the engineer every day for the last 2 weeks. I've been on the phone every day with him. So
2 years. This
2
has
years,
been going
but,
on now. So it's
Oh my.
that's the big one. Eventually, once we get that in, we plan on developing that area up on the hill with small playground. Right now we have a playground, but it's kind of ground play. It's a TP and some,
it's a playground for
ball game?
Gaga ball.
Gaga ball. But we hope to build something else up by the pool. So.
And then I'd like to finish out the pond and eventually make it a swimming pond. So people will have those two options. It'll have a beach, so if people just want to, hang on the beach and get some rays. And then what else are we doing? I mean,
We have plenty of ideas.
he's got all kinds of ideas.
But I hate to say too many of them out loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because then Angie starts getting the phone calls that say, what about the...
I heard that Kevin said we were getting a zip line.
You're like, no.
When's the microbrewery opening?
Yeah. We talk about a lot of different things, and we do.
Honestly, I'd like to, you guys all tell us what you want. This is kind of a little bit of a blank canvas.
Yeah.
And yes, we are doing some boondocking this year. That's in the works.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
And
We have 2 great spots that we kept mowed. And last year there were 3 campers that came back on a regular basis and used it. They set up in a little, in a little U-shaped and had their own kitchen and their own area. And it was great. There were solar panels everywhere and they loved it. So we kept it mowed for them the whole season.
Actually the idea that you came up with where, which I would like to roll with, we haven't really done anything with it yet, but as far as having like a Boondockers weekend where if there's people who want to try it out, but are a little bit nervous, and don't want to just go out on their own, but would like to be in a safe space just in case, do something like that. So I think that it's kind of a thing now. So especially now that we have that Class B motorhome, we've done it ourselves a few times and it's kind of fun. I wouldn't want to do it for a month, but straight.
No, but I'll tell you what, my absolute favorite place that we've ever camped is in the Tetons, but it's not in the park. It's right across the road on National Forest land. So you do boondock. You have no electric, you have no water.
Nothing.
And we've stayed there for 5 nights straight before.
But the view of the Tetons.
You open your door and you see the Tetons right out.
No one's blocking you. No one's near you.
And if
beautiful.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people, and that's why I'd suggested maybe we do like a boondock weekend where we're there with people and we're showing them different things that they need to know.
It can be,
It's water management, it's power management with your batteries. But beyond that, it's and you just can find some amazing campsites.
It might be fun to just get a bunch of people together in the area out there and have a boondocking weekend and maybe do some clinics or something at the same time. But a lot of times when we come down to Florida or go back up north, we book campsites, but we never plug in and we never hook up to the water. And all we do is just park and use the spot, and we enjoy it just fine.
Well, I even think of the place in Colorado that we were along the stream. It was like in a county park. But
that was actually in Wyoming on the way to the Tetons. And it was now that was a great example. That was a county park or city park or something. Now, when I say city park, I mean like there were ball fields, but they would allow you to park your camper if you could find a spot along the river. No hook. And they actually had boxes. They said, if you would be willing to donate something to the city.
I couldn't remember.
But it wasn't required. It was free. Oh my gosh, it was an amazing spot for the night. We were right along this river, and I think we ended up leaving like $20 because we're like, this was worth $20. And but there's a lot of people who, again, if you've never even stayed at a Walmart or a Cracker Barrel overnight, may not know like how will we get through the night if we don't, if we don't have electricity.
Or even the fairgrounds near Glacier, where we watched the little boys learn how to rope and they were actually tiny little guys.
I hate to tell you this, we had electricity
Did
there.
we there?
Yeah, they had electricity. No water or sewer though, which again is
I don't remember.
Along the same lines, we became a harvest host this year as well.
Nice.
We actually tried some harvest hosts on the way down, and they are amazing, especially when your harvest host is a brewery.
Yeah.
Yes. We have stayed over the years at some phenomenal lavender farms, wineries, breweries.
The Fruit Loop.
The blueberry farm. We stayed at this blueberry farm in the state of, I think that was technically in Oregon.
Yes, Mount Hood was behind us.
Literally, Mount Hood was our view for the night. Out these, and she said,
normally there's so many low clouds that you couldn't see the top,
and we had
to clear. See the top, and a snow top in July.
Yeah,
it was cool.
So that's a wonderful
spot.
way to do it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Speaking of the Devils,
Hi.
Bobby and April just arrived. Travels Abound, Bob's a Mug Coffee. So Bobby, we were talking about you that when you stayed at Happy Acres last summer, you had no issues getting your 41 foot
Home
on
on
wheels there. And
That's
and
their
the
home,
site was
yeah.
plenty big for you.
We call that apartmenting.
Yeah. Glamping. Yeah, it's their home.
Yeah, and Randy, I'll get it. Where's Randy? There's Randy. Well, somewhere Randy had a comment about boondocking. I think I can't.
No, I
find it.
think it was the one before that you
Was
had.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Roxanne, I think.
yeah. Well, or what? Or maybe it was Roxanne. I thought it was Randy.
And
But I
she
was gonna
said about a dump station.
oh yes.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have a dump station.
And a place to fill water.
Yep.
So we have all
And that's the thing. That's the type of thing that I always feel like if we can help people out, and we've had people ask us to do that before. Like, would you do a camp out that's all boondocking just so you can teach us, so that we won't be scared to spend the night at Cracker Barrel or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And because that's always a common concern is, well, then how do we empty our tanks if we stay out 2 or 3 nights? And
Yeah.
there's so many places you can empty your tanks either for a small fee or even
Right.
sometimes for free.
Right.
But I was going to say, Randy's a great example.
She's great.
Here's the thing about our friend Randy. Randy camps 365 days a year,
Uh-huh.
and she lives
In Minnesota.
in Minnesota. Like snow is her
Snow.
best friend.
She loves snow. Yeah.
So Randy was the one that helped get us
Uh-huh.
over the fear of winter camping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. When
I
she,
needed Randy during my drive the other day.
yeah.
when she had to, she talks about how she had to shovel her way to get to the fire
Yes.
pit or something.
Yeah, remember Randy on her YouTube channel has a video where you actually see her shoveling to the fire pit so she can build a fire.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
And Mark says, "Don't fear Cracker Barrel. Breakfasts are amazing."
Yes,
So,
they are.
yeah. So, yeah. So I think I can't remember what the original question was. I think it was about
Their plans.
the
their
plans,
future
future
for the
dreams. So
campground.
yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
pretty good. Oh wait, Bill says he just tried to book May 5th to the 7th, and it looks like you're
Oh,
full.
wow.
I'm looking right now.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo is going to be fun.
It's gonna
We
be
got
a
to get the
party.
we got to get the porters there.
Yeah.
Are you willing to boondock?
There you go.
Oh no, we've got plenty of space. It says were you looking for something specific? Like some you should be able to book.
Yeah.
I will double check when we get off this to make sure that it's working properly. should
So
be
Bill,
able
it
to
sounds like maybe there are sites. I will say this for those of you, because I think when Jerry from Happy Place Diaries tried to book their summer
He
reservation,
had a little issue.
Jerry was going in and checking a lot of what's the word? Like where you could say, like, I want 50 amp, I want this and that. And for some reason, the system was acting wonky. And when I said, Jerry, don't check any boxes, just put in your arrival date and your departure date. And then all of a sudden he found all the sites.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, definitely. That's actually on the technical checklist for our reservation system. That is an issue that's happening. So they're supposed to be fixing.
So, and Bill says if it says if
filters,
not, save us a site if you're not booked. So, Bill, we're going to get you there. If you and Val want to come up, we're excited. So, so Patty and I will be there.
Yep.
Cinco de Mayo weekend
with the puppies.
And I know a lot of people have been wanting to know like what our plans are because for probably the last 5 or 6 years
we leave for the summer and go.
and we
there.
just gone.
Yeah.
We're gone. We went 3 years in a row west. The last 2 years we went east.
Yeah.
And so I guess the big announcement is this summer we're actually staying home for most of the summer, and we're going to be over at Happy Acres.
Yeah,
we're gonna be like seasonals for the summer.
Yeah, seasonals again. Yeah,
and so we'll actually be gone for about 3 weeks,
right?
Around the 4th of July, but the rest of the camping season, for the most part, we're going to be at Happy Acres. So if anybody wants to join us at any point, there's a good chance we will be there.
Absolutely.
We're gonna let Kevin and Angie put us to work because we want to find out what it's like to run a campground, be in a campground. And so we're going to be filming that entire experience for Travels with Delaney.
Yeah.
So as opposed to filming our travels, which we've done in the past, which every RV YouTuber now does, we think we're going to be able to bring some new video content that nobody else is doing of living and working
like behind the scenes,
behind the scenes of a campground / RV park. And so we're super
You're gonna have
excited.
to edit out any of the times when I'm crying.
Oh.
Or maybe an R rating for the language.
Yeah,
We'll show that.
we are a family channel. So. But yeah, so no, we're super excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
When Kevin and Angie talked to us this fall, I remember my first thought was like, why would we want to be seasonal 15 minutes from our house? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
This is gonna be fun.
And Patty's like, how great, for a couple of reasons. One, we kind of do need to stay close to home and do some work on our yard because of the tornado last year.
Trees.
And so it'll keep us closer to home. And, you know, we love RVing. We love just the whole thing about it. And this is just going to give us another perspective.
Absolutely.
And we're excited to help you guys out with some of your digital and social media. I'll probably drive you nuts. Just ask Bobby.
Yeah.
I probably have already.
She's probably like,
They're like, oh God, we were hoping they were going to announce they're taking off for the summer.
Yeah.
Driving us nuts. So that's going to be our plan. And in terms of, I know a little bit
Someone
ago,
asked about what
Glenn asked about an official TWD camp out. And yes, we already have one planned. And let me see if I can find you see, I do all this stuff. Technology. There we go. Yeah. It should come up. So June 9th and 10th, we are having a camp out and a full camp out at Happy Acres.
Right.
And so the reason we picked that weekend, originally we were going to do it in May. We did a save the date like months ago.
I know.
And we apologize for that, but we've changed the date for a couple of reasons. Number one, we have the big Cinco de Mayo kickoff. And then we're like, well, that's kind of weird to do a camp out 2 weeks later.
Right.
So, but the other thing is UCamp starts on, I believe, maybe the 12th.
We have it set so those folks will come maybe through that area.
Yeah. So like Brian and Roxy, I don't know if you guys are coming from California to UCamp again this year, but we have aligned the TWD camp out so that anyone going to UCamp, if this is on your route, you can come to our camp out on Friday and Saturday night. And then if you want to extend one additional night, we're only 4.5 hours from Sugar Creek, and then you'll go on to UCamp. So hopefully we can just load up Happy Acres with a lot of new camp RVs. But you don't have to be a new camp owner. Obviously, we're not even a new camp owner. But I think we'll have some of our new camp friends hopefully join us that weekend. The other thing is you can now, as of tonight, officially book. And Angie was so kind to set up a direct link for us. So if you just go, and I've got it scrolling across the bottom, but if you go to twdcampout.com, that's going to take you right to the reservation page. And we're doing it a little bit different this year. It's a package deal where you're going to book a 2-night package, and it's going to include 2 nights of full hookup camping, or I think you do have an option for a little bit less for water electric. But it's going to include a welcome dessert party the first night. We're kind of changing it up, freshening things up for 2023. So we're going to do a nice little dessert buffet, and we'll all hang out. And then there's a full catered dinner on Saturday night. So you don't even have to make a dish like we used to do in the old days, which was like last year. And then Sunday morning we'll still have pancakes, and Saturday night will include entertainment.
Well, don't forget your
pancakes. I have booked, by the way.
Your pancakes are in a kilt.
That's right. I will. Well, I don't know if that's a selling point.
Well, you know, people look forward to you in your kilt.
Right. So and and so we're just it's gonna include everything. And I just want to make it really clear though, when you see that price, we are not making anything on this, nor is Angie and Kevin. We have literally priced this out to break even. It was just Patty and I were trying to find a way, because so many people who attended our campouts in the past would say, can't we help out? This has to be financially costing you, and it was. But so we just wanted to get to kind of a point where it's a break even and we can all get together and have a good time. And so we're excited because now I don't have to cook on Saturday night. We're just going to have it catered in.
And have entertainment. It'll be so much fun.
Yep. And Patty and I are already working on some things we've never done before. Like we're planning on, because Angie and Kevin have quite a few, if I remember right, cornhole boards, so we can get a
Yes.
cornhole tournament
Mhm.
going, and
Yeah, some prizes and whatnot.
yeah, just different things.
Yep,
So
make it fun. Mhm.
we will have a fall camp out. We just haven't established the date for that
Right.
one as well, and that'll also be at Happy Acre. So
Absolutely. Yep.
I do want to mention that if you book for that weekend through our regular campsite, it doesn't book you in for this event. So you need to go to the twdcampout.com, and then that will get you the full package.
Gotcha.
right. So
Okay.
So yeah, so if anybody knows you want to come or whenever you're ready to book, just go to twdcampout.com and that'll take you right to the packages. And yeah, we're looking
Yeah,
forward to
that'll
it.
be
So
great.
yeah, I think that was the last
a big
the big question.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're really excited. I think between us and Barton Lake RV being there and you guys, I think it's going to be an amazing summer.
It's going to be a great
It
summer.
is. It's
We're
gonna be
really
great.
looking forward to it this year.
Somebody does want to see me in
I
my kill.
told you.
I saw a couple people.
I saw that over there too.
I
Yeah.
told you.
And I tell you what, I now have the hat.
I know.
So I have the matching hat with the kilt. I might add a few more accessories
you
before
what is
June
it?
rolls
around.
What is it?
Ooh,
called?
bagpipes.
Bagpipes.
the bagpipes. So Kevin, you definitely don't want me with bagpipes
You
in
gotta
the
start
camp.
practicing.
Like, what is that?
Sorry, Patty.
Uki says I need a new channel.
Hey, you're so funny.
Glenn wants to know when we're thinking in the fall. Glenn, it'll probably be late September
Early October,
or the
maybe?
first weekend in October,
Right.
like this
We're not
last year.
sure, yeah.
We just need to look at our calendars and we need to look at the campground calendar.
Yeah.
But we will get that set hopefully soon. But yeah, we'll make it a fun fall one again. I think everybody that came to our fall camp, I think everybody had a great time. Pat Taylor was the entertainment, and it was the first time. Whoa, Sharon,
I know.
really?
I know.
Oh my gosh, Sharon, that would be awesome if you're going to make it to the fall camp out.
Is that New Zealand,
You might have
Sharon?
to work around Sharon's schedule.
We love to meet you.
Wow.
So, but yeah, Pat Taylor, and is that who our entertainment will be for the first camp out? Do we know yet or not yet?
She
It
probably
is not.
You probably don't know yet.
I
Okay,
do
that's
know.
fine.
That's what
Mike Doherty is going to be at the first camp out, which he played at the campground last year. I don't think you guys were there for that, but that was probably our best,
The biggest
the
turnout.
biggest
He's
turnout.
great. Yeah, he's great.
And the whiskey
Cool.
wagon was there too, so that always helps. So,
Awesome.
but Pat is scheduled. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you when she's scheduled.
someone said Led Zeppelin.
I wish.
Glenn, you're so funny.
All right. She is scheduled August. No, July. I don't even know. Give me a second.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
fine. That's fine.
Okay.
But
Oh,
Any
it's in-
entertainment is good. Yeah, there's lots of good folks around here.
my father thinks he ought to buy a new camper so he can come
Wow.
camp.
July
He still lives-
15th.
I mean, that would make a lot of sense, Dad. Actually, my dad and Marilyn were at our very first camp out
They were
in Tennessee. Yeah.
They had the party.
They were like the
Camper
party because they
Central.
had this big Class A motorhome at the
Yeah.
time,
Mhm.
and somehow their site became where all the
Party
activities
Central,
were.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but no, Dad, I don't think. Glenn wants to know if we can get Garth Brooks.
Well, I've got to call into him.
Price.
Expecting a call back.
Uh,
No, but
That's
Pat is on July 15th.
August 15th.
July
Okay.
15th. Okay.
July
Oh, we
15th.
will be there. Yeah, I think again. I don't know if Vinny's still here. Gosh, Mark was there. Actually, several people in the room were there at the fall camp out and saw Pat Taylor.
Some people want an Irish event since you have your kilt.
Maybe an Irish event. Oh well, I will be honest. You know this.
Uh-oh.
You know, I've always wanted to book off kilter
Oh,
for a
I
camp out.
know.
I just don't think we could afford them.
I don't
but,
think so. And Kelly Taylor has something.
Okay. What are you
think this is
looking
for
at
us.
getting this time? We all know it's coming. Oh, Kelly's talking about RVs.
Yeah, no.
Actually,
Well,
I don't, Kelly, I honestly don't think we are going to be getting a new RV because we do love the Lance. I think there still is kind of that perception because we've been so honest about issues with the trailer, but the trailer itself, we actually still love. Would we like a larger seating area in the trailer? Sure. Would we like bigger cargo carrying?
Would
Yes.
we like ducted air?
Ducted air.
Yes.
But not enough to necessarily go buy a new RV. But I would say, I mean, I would love to upgrade to a bigger Lance, but I'm not willing to spend
You were looking the other
$68,000.
day, and it's
Yeah, they were
crazy
$68,000 for a new Lance, the one like Jim and Abe have. We have been looking at a small Cougar fifth wheel, but again, I just don't think right now
Not
we
yet,
want to spend the
yeah.
money. So.
Well, we just got this one. All its little quirkyisms.
Yeah, well, that's the other
Knock
thing.
on
Oh,
wood.
there we go. Now the party's complete.
Yeah.
Bill and Val are coming.
No,
Cinco de Mayo. I feel like we should have like a bell to ring or
Yeah.
something. We just had a booking.
we should.
Oh, here you go. Mark says we're buying Carl back.
No.
Oh, Mark, you bought Carl. It's yours. So,
I don't know how we were in that little thing, Mark. With two puppies.
Patty, quit acting hesitant on that question.
What
See,
question?
about the RV? She says you're hesitant there on the, yeah. So
I'm just tired from school. I had little kids all day, all around me.
now Rodney's going to try to get a bidding war going on Carl. So
there you go, Mark. You can upgrade, Mark. You got the Tundra now, buddy.
These guys, Jim says if we can't afford off kilter, we could hire Uki to wear his flannel pajamas and play the kazoo.
There you go.
It's just about off kilter.
Yeah, that's close.
So,
yeah.
So yeah. Guys, you had no idea what you were getting yourselves into tonight with
No idea. No, we're learning a lot.
I know. I can't wait to meet some of these people.
Yeah. Sadly, you've met a few of them. You just probably don't remember.
Yeah. Like me. They're gone.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a great.
I think it's gonna be lots of fun.
Yeah,
a new adventure, something new for us, at least. Yeah, something different.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So, yeah. So, who's got questions? Go ahead. I mean, we've already went an hour.
I know.
Does anybody have any questions? I don't want to keep Angie and Kevin.
Yep.
They got parties to get to tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this tea's getting cold.
I was drinking. I splurged tonight because I thought tonight was a really special night.
Yeah, you had.
I had my Eagle Rare bourbon.
Oh.
And what are you drinking?
Water.
But it is in your
my Happy Acres awesome.
I know. I saw that. Very nice.
Any new merch for this that you've come across yet?
Merchandise.
Of course, they'll be all new.
Ooh.
Oh, it's going to be all new. So you're going to have some. All right. Wow.
That's the deal. I told all the seasonal campers that all the shirts, these are retired. Can't get these anymore.
It's like a classic.
Yes. Well, the classic one, the classic logo one will be the same. This is not the classic. We don't even have one on. So yeah, I'll have new merch, some new hats, new fun stuff in the store. I've been working on that all winter, getting that all stocked up. So yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Exciting.
Gail says she can't get in for a spot. Gail, which weekend? Are you talking the Cinco de Mayo weekend or the June camp out weekend? So let me know in the comments. And then Glenn wants to know, do you have online shopping for merch?
We do not yet. Possibly in the future, but it's low on the priority list.
Right.
It's got to go out.
Okay.
Puppy out.
What else we got here? Are kilts for sale? Are there kilts for sale? There might be. If the kilt becomes popular enough, I might be able to talk into it.
Write that down.
Travels with Delaney kilts. May 5th. Okay, Gail, there are sites available for May 5th.
Just take all the filters out.
Yeah, if by any chance you checked when you go into book, just put in the arrival date, what day you want to arrive and what day you want to depart. don't check anything else, and then you should see a listing of sites available. I think that was the issue Bill was having, and he so
Got your puppy.
and Gail, I don't know if you're going to UCamp, but that June weekend does align right before UCamp. Oh, Brenda says it's going to be their first year of seasonals,
Oh,
and they can't wait.
Brenda! Yay! It is going to be your first year.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, at Happy Acres.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And she'll
Oh,
be
awesome.
close to you guys.
All
Oh,
right.
good.
It'll be
We
just a few
apologize.
minutes.
Patty, I tell you what, Patty, you know, this is my biggest fear is that we'll end up getting asked to leave because you're always up late partying.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to keep my eyes a little earlier here on the couch.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, that's you.
Yeah.
You're killed, man. You're going to keep them awake.
Oh, Gail says, I just did that. I hope that's a good thing. And then June is Happy Acres too. All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love Gail.
And Gail, I think, ended up getting her e-bike. Gail
She could
demoed
tell
our
us, yeah.
e-bike during the fall camp out. And then she's been looking for one. And I think maybe she was able to finally so. And Glenn says you're doing a wonderful job no matter what they say. I'm not sure who Glenn's referring to. I hope it's me. But maybe not. Let's see here. Robert says, I guess you could say that Victoria Day long weekend is Canada's version of Cinco de Mayo, as it happens in May and is often used as an excuse to drink. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's kind of what Cinco de Mayo is for Americans. So, and it says one of the real stars of the show has made her appearance.
Yes.
Was that Bess? Were you holding Bess?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'll get Truman here in a second.
We'll get Truman up here in a second too.
They had to do a potty break.
Wait, Pat, it says, if I'm there, Patty, can you sit with me in shadow? I stay up late. There you go. You can keep Roxy up for
I don't know how
company.
much good I'm going to be,
You
Rob.
guys are going to be the troublemakers.
Yeah. We're, you know, it's funny because, and I don't know if we ever told you guys the story, but we had a camp out in Virginia I think that was about 3 years ago at a state park. And it was the biggest camp out we've ever had. I think we had 22 sites.
Yes.
22 or 23 sites. And I had asked, there was a fire ban at the time. And so when we checked in, I had brought propane fire pit. And I said, are propane fire pits allowed? And the gal checked us and said, oh, yeah, you just can't burn wood, but a propane fire pit, you know, that's fine. So, and they told us there was this big grassy area we could use the first night for the wine reception.
Yeah.
So we're out there. It's dark because it was fall. So, you know, dark comes early. And we've got 2 fire pits going. Everybody's just having wine and cheese and crackers. We're just, and it's super cold out. So now the fires are necessary.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I see propane fire pits being turned off. And I'm like, what's going on? And I see a ranger. So I walk over and I said, sir, what's going on? He said, I'm sorry to shut you down, but there's a fire ban. And you can't have these fires. And I said, so then I'm like apologizing. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I was told at check-in it was okay. And he said, well, the people working check-in are volunteers and they don't always quite understand. And I just kept apologizing. And he said, no, he said, you're fine. He goes, honestly, I feel guilty because he said, I was on the other side of the park. Now this is a big park in the mountains.
Yeah.
So the other side of the park is a drive.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, the call I got was, there are a bunch of drunk people with a fire going, big bonfire going over in the field, and I need to get over here ASAP.
Yep.
And he goes, no disrespect, but I get over here, and he goes, it's a bunch of older people sipping wine, eating cheese around 2 tiny little fire pits. And he goes, I couldn't even hear you as I drove up, so it wasn't even a noise issue, but he was so nice to us the rest of the weekend. So last summer at our camp out in Maine with our friends at place, Jeff and Lynn, I said to Jeff, I go, man, I hope you don't kick us out, because he had never heard the story.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I won't kick you out. I just want to join in. So
The desperados.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's probably the
Deborah's sleep.
oh no, okay. I will get the Travels with Delaney website updated. Deb, if you just go to TWD Campout, though, which is a different site. I'll type it in here. Well, maybe I will. Yeah, TWD Campout, that will take you, but I will get our website updated with that link so you have a direct link. So I hadn't put it up yet because we wanted to wait till tonight to make the official announcement. And so anyone on the live stream or anyone watching the replay obviously is going to get first chance. The nice thing about Happy Acres, as you heard earlier, is this is not a mega park with 6,000 sites. So there's a limited number of sites for the camp out. And but I think that's what makes our campouts unique is,
Right.
you know, we like to keep it small. And so you're going to get first chance to book because it will sell out. I guarantee you. John says, we're looking forward to seeing folks Cinco de Mayo weekend. We'll try not to bring any snow with us.
Please.
That was
That
nice,
would
John.
be great.
And John does bring with him. Please leave the snow behind,
Yep.
but please bring the portable bar. John has this
Oh,
bar that he made.
Yes.
Really nice, and he makes a mean cocktail. So,
Okay, good to know.
yeah.
and Randy says, give Truman and Bess a big hug.
We're so sorry about Prince.
Yeah. So for any of our listener or followers out there that follow Randy,
Princey,
if you
yeah.
didn't hear, fortunately Randy lost Princey, her
little puppy.
her puppy, her baby, and so we're so sorry, Randy. It's always hard when you lose a fur baby.
Fur baby, yeah.
We were fortunate to get to meet Princey
Yeah.
a couple years ago when we got to camp with Randy. And so anyway, we're thinking of you, Randy. We've been through it a couple times. So all right. Well, I think that's going to do it for tonight. We really appreciate everybody joining us this evening.
Absolutely.
Super thankful for Kevin and Angie to
Yeah.
take time tonight to join us. And
Thank
We appreciate you having us.
Yes, we do.
yeah, well, we're glad and we're excited. And so if anybody has issues booking sites, just shoot me an email at travelswithdelaney at gmail.com and we'll get it worked out for you. Main thing is when you go directly to camphappyacres.com, if you're booking any sites, don't use the filters. Just put in your dates and then you can sort through. It's a great, honestly, the website's easy to use, or the reservation system's easy to use as long as you don't use the filters. And you can pull up the map. You can find out on the map if you're looking for a specific location.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, camphappyacres.com. And again, if you can't make it Cinco de Mayo, if you can't make it in June, we're going to be there most of the summer. Like I said, we'll probably be gone from mid-June through about July 7th or 8th. But then the rest of most of the time, we're going to
We'll
be
be
there.
there.
So.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, Kevin and Angie, if you want to stay on for just maybe you can. I think you can. Yeah.
Maybe you'll hang up on us. I don't know.
If not, if we hang up on you, I guess we'll talk later. But all right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, everybody.
And we'll
Thank
see
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Let's see.